Welcome into Game Night Live Rewind's Game of the Week. Come to you live from Bingham High School, and a good old high school rivalry here in Region 3 as the Bingham Miners, 3-4 on the season, welcome in the 4-2 Riverton Silverwolves. Thank you for joining us, everyone. My name is Dane Stewart, and excited to be here. Tim Haslam joining me. Tim, this is a big game for two teams, Mountain Ridge undefeated, leading Region 3. But if these teams want to have a say in a region championship, this is a must-win game for both of them.
Absolutely. Just a fun game to be at. Beautiful setting here. The Bingham campus was hopping. It seems like every sports team's here today.
Yeah.
Even the band's here. Just a great time. I can't wait to see how this one plays out on the field.
Well, I'll tell you, I showed up, and there were no goals on the field. They were doing track. And I'm like, I'm at the right spot, right? I mean, even Riverton was kind of waiting. It has been a busy day. We had drums going earlier. I was like, man, it feels like a soccer game.
Yeah,
I mean,
great.
This is a great afternoon for some athletics here. It's Bingham in the home white, Riverton in the road purple. They've got some interesting results thus far through the season, and it's a big match. We'll get into that as the course unfolds here. Is ground ball. We're still trying to possess it, and this will be sent down, and that will not be an over and back because there was never possession, right, Tim?
Correct.
So we're 30 seconds in. Here's a question I had for you. I was like, I'm going to ask Tim that, and I'll do it on the air because I have no problem being public with it. So 30 seconds to declare who won that face-off. Is that right?
I'd say Bingham.
Yeah.
Bingham won that one.
But you just wait till that possession's established, however long it takes.
That's right.
All right.
That's right.
Yeah. See, it's a statistical thing, and here's a big fire and good save put on there by Riverton. Is Connor Tuller, look, just a freshman, but over a 60% save percentage coming into this one. He's had a really fine year.
You know, I was at their game, Riverton's game against Copper Hills on Tuesday, and he was really impressive in that game too. It's not often that you see a freshman compete in any position, let alone the goalie. And that, Tuller, a Riverton faithful name. Many Riverton fans will recognize that name. Lots of Tullers have come through the program. So exciting to see him, and I'm sure we'll see lots of him in the future.
Yeah, I was surprised. I was like, oh, they're not starting a freshman, right? And then you look at the stats and like, I bet they start the freshman.
Oh, yeah.
Sure enough.
He's good.
He's been really good for the Silverwolves this year. We'll get into some leading players for you. Adam Scholson, the senior, 12 goals on the season to lead the way. Also have Connor Rasmussen, another senior, with 11. So this Riverton team, they can find the back of the net and done a nice job of it thus far here in the early start of the year. Here behind, this is Rasmussen with it for the Silverwolves. Throw over with Scholson. Adam looking to get to the middle, and that was wide, backed up here by Riverton.
Nice little move there. You could hear the Bingham defense yelling, watch the rollback, watch the rollback. They called it, just the shot goes wide. Nice effort, though. It's
a Riverton team coming off a loss to Copper Hills. There's a shot there, and that's saved by Christian Jones. And he says, yeah, Tuller's impressive for a freshman, but I'm a senior. I'm 653 save percentage, so two good keeps today between the pipes.
Yeah, and we'll see how that plays out. A lot of pundits will say that in order to win a lacrosse game, you got to win the faceoffs and have a hot goalie. So we'll see how that plays into the game today.
Luke Wilson with it here for the Miners. And talk about some of the leading goal scorers for Riverton. How about Nick Anderson, the junior? 17 goals for Bingham. Wearing number 5 today. And boy, he's been fantastic for this Miner offense.
And he's another one of those kids that's been playing varsity since his freshman year. Just a great talent. Really helps this Bingham offense when they've got the ball. And yeah, it'll be exciting to see what he does today as well.
Bailey sends it back up. This is Anderson with it. Good help defense there from Riverton. Coming near side, Wilson right in front, and that may have been off of the arm there.
Big save by Tuller. We're going to say that a lot today.
Good early plays. We're still scoreless. Anderson trying to fight through traffic. Riverton sticks, able to jar it loose. Kept here with Bailey. Works over to Nick. Anderson thought about that long shot. Now he'll take it. Oh, what a ball from Nick Anderson. First goal of the game coming for the Miners.
Great shot there by Anderson, 18th goal of the year. Dane, the thing I love about that one, we kind of talked about it before the game, but it's using the turf to your advantage, right? He's shooting that low to low, letting that ball bounce. That's a tricky ball to stop for any goalie, let alone Tueller, and just a great shot.
It's one where you feel like if he's 20 yards out, you got to feel okay with that, right? And yet he makes them pay. Good start, and Bingham right off the face-off in front. Back-to-back goals for the Miners. 2-0 Bingham.
Carlson with the nice play there. A little fast break off the face-off. Just excellent ball movement by the Miners there. And, didn't waste any time there in front as his window was closing, and just nice placement. Good goal.
I want to let you know the clock you see on your screen, unofficial. We're manually trying to keep that as synced with the game clock as we can. We did not start it because we were a little ahead. 8:08 left here in the first quarter, 2-0 Bingham. Goals just 15 seconds apart or so for the Miners, and they win another face-off. It's a Bingham team that has lost some games, lost to PG, lost to Bountiful, lost to American Fork. They started to put some wins together. Big overtime win against Copper Hills. They battled against Mountain Ridge, Tim. Lost that game 13-11. Feels like this Bingham team may be starting to find their footing here.
Yeah, and we may look back at the end of the season at that Mountain Ridge game, and that may be the toughest opponent Mountain Ridge, played in terms of score. And so that'll definitely be interesting to watch as this goes on. You mentioned it earlier. You were talking to Coach Everill before, and
how about that
goal.
Setup? 3-0 Bingham is. I love the ball movement, Tim, to get that right in front of the net. And the finish, I think by...
It was Grant Ward, second goal of the year.
Grant Ward.
What a time to have your second goal.
Yeah, 3-0.
You were mentioning earlier that Everill said, who's going to show up today, and so I think that a lot of teams go through that as the season goes on, and I think this Bingham team, when they want to show up, when all of them show up, they can be really dangerous.
We've talked about this has been such a great rivalry in Region 3, and Riverton football the last couple years got the better of Bingham football, and these two schools not far apart, and this Bingham team certainly looks dialed in here this afternoon. Riverton, see what response they have is Scholson working right in front. Oh, how about the answer from Riverton? Scholson with the assist and able to get it to Rasmussen for the goal.
Just great ball movement there. You see the midi dodging down the alley, draws that slide, leaves Solston open, and just a nice shot. That's a tricky shot from that angle, but great placement.
Rasmussen able to work himself wide open. And the offense came to play this afternoon, Tim. It's a good start.
That's what we love. That's what we love. I would love nothing more than like a 19-17 game here, Dan.
Off the face-off. Bingham has it.
It's interesting, Dane. Riverton won that last face, not this face-off, but the one prior with Johansson. And usually if you've got a guy that's got the hot hand, you kind of keep going to him. But they switched it up, and so it'll be interesting to see if they keep doing that or if they go back to Johansson.
It's one of the things because Johansson is almost 640 from the spot this year, and Nielsen is over 700 from the spot. So they got some good face-off guys. But to your point, kind of surprised that they made that switch. Bingham electing patience here. Wilson. Work behind. Now over. We approach the midway point here in our first, coming from behind the net from X, and that is off the side of the net. No goal there for Bingham.
Good effort. It looks like Riverton's playing in a zone, and when you get beat in the zone, you got to slide a little bit quicker than maybe you're used to, and so we're just going to see if they can make that adjustment.
Yeah, turnover there is a missed opportunity on the pass. Sails wide, out of play. Bingham will get the possession here.
Really no reason to throw that pass. He wasn't pressured. He was ahead of that defender. Usually it's not advised to pass backwards, but, in that situation, Dane, I'd rather see a goalie just kind of dump it in the far corner.
Right.
Let your attacker chase it down.
Baker. That one jarred loose by Kyson Russell. And how about Bingham getting it right back, and then they scoop it out.
He had visions of fast break before he scooped that one up.
I'll tell you, I feel like the last couple of days, Tim, I've gone to a couple of games, and I've seen more guys kind of lose track of the ball, in the helmet, right?
Sure.
Like just can't find it. And not an easy thing to do when that ball's bouncing and high and off the turf, and be able to figure out where that is. Yeah, interesting matchup here. Boy, hard check there. And failure to advance there.
Riverton had two guys open. It's interesting that Tuller didn't see them right in the middle of the field. Of course, Dane, we are, 60 feet up, 70 feet up?
Right.
It's a little easier for us.
We got the best view in the house.
Cool,
and not only that, we got
definitely.
the sun, which is helping to keep us a little warm.
Can we see your house from here, Dane?
Not quite.
Okay.
Not quite. I was looking for it earlier. It was not successful. That pass just a touch behind Russell. Here come the Miners. Anderson. Big windup. Just wide. Backed up here by Bingham.
You can tell Tuller's getting a little flustered on the clears. Kind of tried to force that one in. If he's patient, though, that'll open up and be able to get a good clear.
Whitney looking straight away, and Tuller able to track it, makes the save. You surprised at how long these clears are, Tim?
Not necessarily. I mean, it's not advised. I would love to see that mini go to the ball.
Yeah.
Cut off maybe 10, 15 yards just by running towards Tuller. But
how much does the turnover in your defensive zone and then the failure to advance maybe speed up Tuller's mind? I got to get rid of this,
absolutely,
right?
Absolutely. Yeah, he's definitely flustered. Again, only a freshman. This will definitely pay dividends down the road. But yeah, a little bit flustered. Like to see him take that time. To your point, though, those outlet passes, that's something you practice often, right? So he should be able to hit those.
Good find, and Tuller, boy, another nice save. As that given back to the freshman. And Riverton a chance here again to clear. Successful with Nixon. That was knocked out of the air, but captured. Rasmussen thought he had it. Jumped out of the pocket. Bingham with the possession. Patience here by Jones. Ward as one of the minor goals. Oh, we have an offside? Yeah. We'll have a penalty coming here. And now you might as well go, right? I mean, if you're going to get called for the penalty, you might as well live to earn it.
That's right. Yeah.
Saved there by Tuller, and now we'll get the stoppage, and it will be offside here on the Silver Wolves.
It is a little tricky on a football field. You do have so many white lines, so you're not really paying attention to the line, paying attention to the numbers, and that can get a little tricky when you're running full speed trying to chase down a guy.
Well, some of that is you've got a guy in middle of the field, and you're trying to stay with him. Next thing you know, it's like, oh shoot, went too far.
Right.
I can't say that's never happened to me, but work behind. Here's Bailey. Now worked up. Oh, another strike from Nick Anderson. 2 goals for the junior today, and it's a 3-goal lead for Bingham.
Great ball movement there. Honestly, Dane, the Riverton man down looked like they didn't know they were man down. There are a couple, and 2 reasons I say that. One is they had a guy pressuring clear up at the top of the box, which is a strategy, but maybe not very common.
Yeah.
And then they had a guy pressuring behind, and that's also sort of a no-no when you're man down, to not pressure from behind. So maybe a little bit of confusion there.
Defend the front of the goal.
That's right. That's right. Can't score from behind, especially when you have one less guy.
So a man-up goal there for the Miners. Pushes it to 4-1, and you've got to be thrilled with the start if you're a Miner fan.
Yeah, absolutely. Like we said a couple of times, you never know who's going to show up, and clearly the Bingham offense has shown up.
Moved over. Oh, looking right in front. Oh, Tueller. That's a crafty save and a big one there for Riverton. Tell you, Bingham had a good look too. Tueller to play this wide. Here's Josie. Working up with Clegg. That ball on the ground. Clegg able to recover it. Working on Ellison. Over with Schulson. Bingham able to get back in defensive position here. Josie back to Schulson. Nearing the final minute here of this first quarter. Rasmussen from X right in front. Oh, not just wide off the shot there by Law.
That was a great play by the Bingham defense there. Something that won't go down on the stat sheet, but he was able to get his stick right in the arms of the shooter, causing that ball to go sideways.
Here come the Miners. Anderson, as we're inside of a minute to go. And a timeout going to be taken by the Miners. Coach Everill wanted to dial something up here for this last minute of play. Timeout Bingham. They lead Riverton 4-1. You're watching Game Night Live Rewind's Game of the Week.
College wasn't built for me.
It didn't care if I had to work a double shift.
Test day's test day. Deadline's a deadline.
I want to set the deadlines.
Tests on your time. Courses on your time. Graduate on your time. WGU, the nonprofit university of VU.
Jake said these are awesome for studying.
Line. You shouldn't ever take someone else's medication.
Know your script. Talk to your kids about the dangers of sharing prescriptions.
Welcome back. Bingham with the ball here, 54 seconds to go. Leading Riverton 4-1. See what Coach Everill draws up here. Tim, the Bingham offense, they've got some good looks.
They have, and interesting timeout, right? Only 54 seconds left. If you really need to say something, I guess you could take a timeout, but they were flowing, they were moving well. Maybe just wanted to settle it down and get a good coaching opportunity here. But yeah, they've played well this first quarter.
And Riverton, the defense does its job. Good stick check there. Here comes Schulson right on that boundary, trying to be pushed out. And a penalty flag here going to come. And now we'll finally get the stoppage. Just so you're aware, we're playing black lines today, and they're on the far side of that extended blue sideline. So we're not playing blue, we're playing the outside of the blue between the 25s. Anyway,
it's a little tricky.
But the call there on the Miners, so it'll be first man up opportunity here for Riverton with 33 seconds left.
To be fair, at least they have lines. There's some fields that don't have lines on the sideline, and they've got to use cones, which is a little crazy. But
well, and the other tough thing is that, say what you want about turf, but when you got 4 different sporting lines, it's hard to call out exactly what. And anyway, shot just wide there, backed up by Riverton.
Love the confidence. However, the way to beat a man-down off defense is to get them moving, to get them rotating. Didn't need to do that there.
Quick shot, but able to back it up. They'll get another look here.
I mean, the element of surprise is also a strategy. So
up top here with Tafisi, now worked over. Sal getting it back. Football player for the Silver Wolves as well. He's accustomed to wins over Bingham. Tough angle there from Clegg. And they won't get a shot off. The clock is to their back. Couldn't see it, couldn't execute, and the first quarter's complete.
That's okay, though, because they're man up. That means they'll get the ball to start the second quarter.
See, something to be said about the old thinking caps. Riverton will have the ball to start the second. They trail Bingham 4-1 after the first. You're watching Game Night Live Rewind's Game of the Week, presented by Heidemann Associates and brought to you by the Riley Jensen Mental Performance Group. Welcome back. Start of the second quarter, 4-1 Bingham. Riverton with the possession. They're still man up here. See if they can try to crack this Bingham defense. Here's Tafisi. Oh, good angle, not deflected, but backed up here by the Silver Wolves. That was Rasmussen.
Yeah, it's a great spot, Dane. Like we talked about though earlier and off air, I'd love to see that overhand. It just increases your chances so much.
Oh boy, they had Tafisi running right down the alley and just missed him. Riverton able to hold it. Still man up, no longer. As time served, back to even strength. Tafisi working in front. Schulson with the patience and the goal.
Great little stick dodge there. He gets it. His hands are up, kind of a tricky angle. Kind of does a pump fake and then able to get past his man in the easy dunk. Great goal by Schulson.
I thought maybe he had missed his opportunity, right, with the hesitation. And no, it's just opening things up there. So leading scorer for Riverton, that's another one.
And that's exactly what Riverton needs. You know, they pair this with a face-off win by Johansson, and you know, anything can happen.
You know, the other thing is
still lots of time.
Well, Bingham came out firing. I mean, 2 goals in the first 30 seconds, right? And Riverton's starting to settle into this a little bit. Obviously, some opportunities for Coach Dooley. His squad is big face-off win for the Silver Wolves, and a bounce shot that is scored. Riverton back to within 1.
I mean, Dane, I've been to a lot of lacrosse games in my life. I've seen a lot. It's kind of like I knew that was going to happen, which is awkward.
Who was it, right?
It was Johansson. If he doesn't take the rest of the face-offs and is healthy, like, we need to have a chat.
Tim's going to DM someone.
Yeah, someone. I don't know who, but I will, because he's clearly the better face-off guy in this game. Yeah. Obviously, you know, you go with the guy who has the hot hand, and it's him.
And guess who wins that one?
Even if that's all he did the rest of the game and they went 50-50, look at where the ball ended up, right? It ended up in their offensive zone. And so even if Bingham comes away with it, they've now got to clear. It just presents so many problems and just a great advantage. So maybe I do need to DM the Riverton Boys Instagram account.
A little spin move by Schulson. Worked up top here, Russell.
You start winning faceoffs, you start making saves. Like, just those are such little things that have so much sway on momentum.
Well, Tim, I was going to make a plug there. There's a big save put on there for Bingham, Christian Jones. Riverton trying to hold it here, ground ball, and going to get a loose ball push here. I was going to say, time for a selfish plug here, right? You and I do Utah lacrosse as well. Right. Come join us, all the Utah home games. Yep. Tim and I have, we're there. But last home game, playing Mercer, Utah won like 80% of the faceoffs. Throttle them, right? It's just how critical that aspect of the game is.
Totally. And that doesn't always mean you'll win if you win every face-off, but it improves your chances just so much.
Well, it just makes the other team work defense to even get to their offense, right?
That's right. We saw it last night with Corner Canyon and Corona Del Mar. Corner Canyon struggled from the face-off X, and that game ended up going to double overtime, right? They maybe win 2-3 more face-offs. That may be a different game.
Let's talk about that. In case people in the state did not know, Corner Canyon had a big week. Heading to California, taking on Mater Dei, taking on Corona. Those are 2 of the top teams in the Western region. Corner Canyon on the road, back-to-back games. Tuesday, Wednesday, they beat Mater Dei. They lose to Corona in double overtime. Tim, how big of a statement is that for Utah lacrosse?
To be fair, they put us really back on the map, maybe in the Cherry Creek game, right, a couple weeks ago. Cherry Creek, one of the top programs in Colorado. That was a one-off sort of thing. If that was it, like, fine, fair. But then they go and play more additional highly competitive teams. Lots of eyeballs on Southern California in general, Southern California lacrosse. And so for Corner Canyon to go in and win that game, just a huge effort. These kids all play club against each other anyway during the summer. But, you know, when they get to their high school teams, just a big, big statement. Corona Del Mar, you know, they dropped that one in double overtime, like we said. There's no shame in that, right? They're a great team. They're well coached. You know, their coach went to Penn and Gilman, the famous prep school back east. You know, and so no shame in that. They've got some really nice players. A kid going to Harvard. You know, so just a great team, great squad, and yeah, it gets us to a spot where people start considering, oh yeah, Utah can produce great high school teams.
Always great to see in-state programs go out and represent. We're at Bingham. I mean, Bingham football has done that for years, right? And now it's Corner Canyon Lacrosse doing that here in 22 is man-up opportunity, and they're back to even strength. Riverton is another offside penalty on Riverton that led to being man down, but able to kill it off here. Bingham with it. Bounce shot. It is out of play, backed up here. Good sustained possession here by Bingham. Pass deflected. Good stick work there by Cook. Bailey coming out with Anderson. Anderson, boy, that was a fastball and backed up again.
Excellent technique there on that low to high. You know, Dane, the problem with that, though, is there's only so much room that can actually hit the net. You know, I'd love to see a bounce overhand that really challenges Tueller there.
Big check put on there by Rengers. And he'll work to get the clear. Boy, that one given up right in front. Bingham overruns the ground ball. They got it back. Oh, what a save by the freshman Tueller on Nick Anderson.
Wow, what a save. Unfortunate error. Putting the ball right in the front of the goal. You know, Bingham struggling to pick that up. Tried to go one-handed with it, which is a lacrosse no-no. Then just a big save by Tueller. What a series of events.
The freshman inspiring his sideline. You can hear the cheers from the bench as that shot is high, backed up again. But Tueller with a couple big plays and getting help from his defense too. They're getting physical with Anderson.
Yeah, you know, Riverton's really come out in this quarter and said, hey, we're not afraid of you guys. We can play this game too. And, you know, they're proving it on the field.
Bingham there petitioning for a call. Play on.
There was a time, Dane, in lacrosse where any contact to the helmet, whether incidental or not, was a flag, an automatic flag. But now the refs have, it's a judgment call, right? They have to decide whether that's intentional or not, which is tough.
Another nice job setting up Anderson. He misses this wide as Riverton on a closeout there, but you can tell for Bingham, it's all about getting it to number 5 and getting him a lane.
Yeah, he's got the hot hand in this game so far. You know, senior leader, just an excellent player. You know, just a junior, my bad, but definitely a leader on the team. So yeah, it makes sense.
I'm just waiting for that right opportunity to dial in like a Nick Anderson of the Orlando Magic reference.
Oh, okay.
We're just,
it'll come.
It will. I have no doubt. Bailey turning back here with Nick. Of course, that's my childhood. I couldn't stand those Magic teams with Shaq and Penny. As boy, another big physical check, and Tueller able to keep that out of the net. Here comes Sal Tafisi and the Silver Wolves. Tafisi, end-to-end, taking on a check. Sal right in front. Oh, Sal going high and scores it to tie us up at 4.
What a goal by Tafisi. Gets the ball about the 40-yard line, runs it down. They were actually 5-on-3 there, Dane. Didn't want to pass it. He knew the second he caught that ball that he was going to take it to the cage. What I love, though, fundamental lacrosse, right? He's got it in his right hand. Angle's not there. Switches to his left. Top shelf. Great goal.
I'll tell you, Sal Tafisi, there's some highlights of that young man on the gridiron in the fall. I saw his name. I was like, sweet, I get to do a Tafisi game. And what a goal from Sal end to end. And how about the bounce back? 3 unanswered here for Riverton, Tim.
Yeah, it's been a great effort. You know, when I was at the Copper Hills Riverton game on Tuesday, I saw Tafisi go, man, he is a great player. You know, if I were Riverton, that's who I would want the ball to have the ball in the offensive end.
Wouldn't he just had that hop out of the pocket, was able to recover for Bingham. Play to X. Approaching the midway point here in our second quarter. Bingham led 4-1 after the first. Riverton, the defense has been physical, and Tueler's been impressive in the cage. Angle shot. Sorry, I jinxed them. Bingham with the answer. They retake the lead.
Hone with the great goal there on the wing. They set up their play. That's one that they've practiced in practice a couple times, and just a great shot there. Getting Tueler sleeping, kind of goes to that offhand, offside pipe. Just a great placement.
Taking the lead back. Not trailed in this game. Johansson back to the spot here for Riverton. Facing off against Stidham.
Dane, that last face-off, not this one, but the prior one, was taken by Nielsen, not Johansson, and it was a factor.
Stidham did a nice job of sticking with it. Had it momentarily, but couldn't connect on the pass, and now Riverton will work to clear it up. Failure. Boy, that clock moves quickly, doesn't it?
It can, for sure, especially when you're running backwards.
Yeah. Here's Bingham back with it. Hone. Working behind. That was Spencer. Plays with Ekblad. Now top of the box. Here's Ellison. Still with it. That's the long stick there coming in. Rangers again with a nice defensive play.
Oh, look at that. Great clear.
Numbers for Riverton. Johansson to the middle. Clegg looking for the shot off the bounce. Tied up at 5 thanks to Clegg.
Couple things here. You see Clegg with Rangers down here on the defensive end. Since day one of lacrosse, if you're a pole, you're taught to keep your stick in the lane, in the passing lane. That's exactly what he does. Gets the great ground ball, looks upfield, finds Johansson breaking down, and just a great fast break goal there by Riverton.
Timeout taken as Riverton is clawed back 5 apiece. We'll be back. You're watching Game Night Live Rewind's Game of the Week. Welcome back. 5:11 left here, first half, 5 apiece. Bingham, Riverton. Contention for region championship in this early region battle. Bingham losing to Mountain Ridge, Riverton losing to Copper Hills. Both one-loss teams in region play and trying to stay within reach of the Sentinels. Johansson again. Check. Oh boy, that was a dangerous hit, and a penalty flag going to come in on it. Yeah, the Bingham player just kind of ducked. Comes in with a cross check. It's tricky. Got a little technical item here. We'll work on it as the check there. The call. So man up opportunity here for Bingham.
Unfortunate for Riverton, just a wrong place, wrong time kind of thing there.
Back in play here, Bingham. Carlson. Work to Bailey. Big fire. Oh, nice shot from Curtis Carlson. Gives Bingham the lead.
And that's what you're looking for when you're man up. Get that defense moving. You get, Hayward on the defensive end, not really out there pressuring, and you got to pressure when you're out there. However, when you have a great goalie, sometimes you're willing to give up those big time shots.
Well, it felt like he was able to get really close to the net, right? I mean,
right.
It wasn't really top of the box. It was more kind of like the middle, and
sure.
So they got so close. And
yeah, need to get out and pressure him. This is a big region game, Dane.
Yeah.
Need to get out there, put that pressure on him, get the stick on his hands.
Riverton has not led yet today. They've tied a couple times. Bingham's always had the answer on the face-off. And Bingham able to possess it. Stidham. Bingham here going to bring on offensive staff.
Dane, if you're Riverton, you got to send Johansson out there, right? That's all right. They'll do that in the second half.
Well, you almost have to take your shots, though, right? I mean, can you run them in the face-off every time? I mean, do you have to kind of
in
mix
theory,
that up?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, when you're winning, that's the thing, though. Like, if he's losing, yeah, definitely. You switch it up. But I don't know that he's lost any if you know, he hasn't lost many. I know that.
Yeah.
He just brings so much of an advantage. Oh, good check.
Yeah, Riverton able to jar that loose. I'm trying to figure out where the ball is. It's all over right now. I see it. It's on the turf, and it's taken. Well, nope.
I think everyone has touched it at this point.
Everybody has. Yeah, this is the. We'll get whistles here. Loose ball push. Is that the call?
I think they went interference.
Okay.
Sort of playing off the ball.
All right.
You can only make contact with a guy within 5 yards. That was the loose ball push.
I was forecasting, right?
Right.
In play here with Riverton. The longest possession we've had in almost feels like a minute. Ooh, boy, just able to get back on side. Though there's a flag on the far side of the field. Don't know if they caught it or not.
I think Riverton was back. The flag will be on Bingham. Okay. If it wasn't Riverton, they would have stopped.
Oh,
stopped
good
play.
point. Yeah. I should have harnessed back to my hockey sense for that, but
it's a great rule. It hasn't always been that way. 5-10 years ago, it was, hey, if there's a flag down, no matter who it's on, we're stopping play.
I like it. I think let advantage play out, and in this case, it plays out to Riverton's advantage as this is Scholson with the goal for the Silver Wolves, 6 apiece.
Similar to the Bingham goal, man-up goal down here, Bingham defense need to get out and pressure him, right? He's their goal scorer. He's been great in this game so far. If I'm the Bingham defense, I'm getting in that shooting lane. I'm getting my stick on his hands. Just not there this time.
Riverton back to even again. Johansson to the spot. He versus Stidham. I think Stidham's taken all the face-offs today for Bingham.
Yes. And he's a great face-off guy in his own right.
Johansson again. 44 has been a beast. Silver Wolves with it. Josie. As we approach 2 minutes to go here in the first half. 6 apiece. Riverton looking for their first lead. Pearson playing to the angle, shot and a goal. There it is, the first lead of the game for Riverton. How about Cameron Clegg, his second of the game?
The thing that I liked that he did there is he had that open shot on the wing, but instead he took 2, 3, 4 steps closer to the center of the field, really extended his angle. Just a great shot.
7-6 Riverton. They trailed 4-1 after the first. It's been a 6-2 second.
It's because they're winning faceoffs.
That helps. I'll tell you, it's almost like Johansson has a cheat code right now, isn't it?
Which is exactly my point, hey? Like, why pull him out?
Oh. I'm playing the video game. I'm just like tapping X really hard, right?
Right.
Clegg working up top here with Scholson. That was loose, but gathered here. Good recovery there by Carter Tripp. Scholson back with Rasmussen. Oh, good ball movement. That was just wide. Backed up by Bingham. Oh, how about the hustle
Big
there
call
by Jones?
Big call. I like what Tripp did there. Riverton was able to extend that Bingham zone. Tripp able to find that spot. Just didn't quite get it on cage, but excellent backup by Bingham.
We're going to get a flag here trailing. Maybe got caught with the stick in the bread basket and just kind of held him up a little bit.
Yeah, that's a tricky call to make, but, I can see where the ref's coming from.
So it'll be a man-up opportunity for Bingham, but right now they're just showing some patience here. 55 seconds to go in the half. And now we'll get the whistle, and now the enforcement. It is a hold, and it's going to be called here on Clegg. So man up for Bingham, 30 seconds. See if that Riverton D can make another nice stop. They've really done a nice job on Nick Anderson too. Had the couple goals in the first quarter. I don't know that he scored here in the second. He's had some good looks, but I don't think he's found the back of the net.
Yeah, the Riverton defense has played obviously better in the second quarter, and Anderson hasn't been a factor here, but
here he is, Anderson. Oh, Tuller able to make the save. Gives it up. We've got a timeout taken here by the Miners with 15 seconds to go in the half. Timeout Bingham. Coach Everill wanting to draw up a final look. We'll be back after this. Welcome back. 15 seconds to go. Bingham with possession. Man up for about 4 seconds, I believe.
I think that's what they're talking about at the table here. Riverton has sent 6 guys out.
Yeah.
I thought there was still time left on the penalty.
So I thought there was 42 seconds when the penalty was called, and they called the 30 seconds. So I'm not a math major, but I would think that there should still be time in the box here. Never mind. That's why I'm not a math major. So worked to X. Anderson with the shot. Oh, Tuller read it, but Anderson able to beat him, and it's 7 apiece.
Great step down shot there, Dane. We saw them practicing that in the warm-ups. They call that drill step downs of all things. Just a great placement though. He's hit those shots his whole career. Big goal.
And that's the most space he's had in the second quarter.
Yep.
And Nick is able to capitalize on it. Ties up at 7.
With Johansson at the X though, anything's possible here.
enough time, 7 seconds. You're going to be pushing it. You almost got to make a straight run from the spot. Johansson able to win it. Gets a look. Oh, deflected. Big play made by Spencer Finson. Able to keep that out.
Great play. You're taught, getting the shooting lanes. That's exactly what he did. Looked like he took that one right off the paw.
It's going to sting.
He may feel that for a couple weeks.
He might be black and blue for another reason after the game.
That's right.
Halftime it is, 7 apiece, Bingham and Riverton. You're watching Game Night Live Rewind's Game of the Week. Welcome back, Game Night Live Rewind's Game of the Week. And that darn intern, tell you what, just plugging things in the wrong stuff. We got the audio figured out. We appreciate your patience as we get ready to start the second half. Bingham, Riverton, 7 apiece. Dane Stewart, Tim Haslam from the Utah Lax Report. Tim, the way it started looked like it was going to be all Bingham. How about the response of Riverton in that second quarter?
You were nervous, Dan.
I was nervous.
You were nervous that this was going to be a blowout. I said that I wanted a 19-17 game. I'm still on board for that.
Yeah.
I think we'll get there. No, the difference is, Riverton showed up. They said, hey, we're not afraid of these guys. Let's get out there and play. It just took them a quarter to warm up, and, it's been a great game ever since.
They conceded 2 goals in the first 30 seconds, the Silver Wolves did. Since that point, it has been, Bingham led 4-1, and then that second quarter by Riverton, but we talked about Nick Anderson, had a couple goals in the first, got that big goal late in the second, 15 seconds left or so. See if that can help get Bingham back on track, because in the first quarter it felt like they were able to get in front of the net almost at will.
It was super easy, right? They were running this little play where the ex-attackman would just kind of fade into the middle. But Riverton figured it out and made a really nice adjustment on defense. But you're right, get it to Anderson. It looks like the Bingham, defense here is really playing out far. That must have been their halftime speech, come out and pressure.
Well, Tafisi, his second goal of the game, and you talk about that pressure, and it's almost like Tafisi's baiting that. Yeah, keep coming. Boom, I got the angle, I got the goal.
And that's how you beat outside pressure, is you just run through stick checks, right? It's very hard, especially here in Utah Lacrosse, to have a guy who can cover you, 40 yards from the cage. And so all he has to do is run by his guy. The slide came a little late, and just a great placement. And again, that's the shot that they practice. That's what you practice in your backyard when you're out shooting, is that alley dodge and the far pipe bounce shot.
Back to the spot here. Stidham with the win for Bingham. Miners looking for a chance to answer here. Talk about Riverton coming off that loss to Copper Hills. Big game for them. They'll play Mountain Ridge next. That's the next game on the schedule. So this is, talk about how critical this is to stay within 1 game of Mountain Ridge and region. But boy, that test is coming quickly for the Silver Wolves. Oh man, looked like a kick save, but instead the old shoes betray the freshman, and it's tied up at 8.
I don't think the fans even knew what happened there. There was no reaction for that goal, but just a great low shot. Tueller tracked it well, but just an unlucky bounce off what looked like his heel into the goal.
Yeah, they're going to throw brand in front of the bus, but I don't know what brand they are, so we'll elect not to.
They look like the white brand.
Well,
we're all I can say, Dan, is we're on pace for 1917. Okay.
I know.
I love it.
I have no problem with this. This has been a fun game. Back to the circle, Johansson had pushed it ahead, and now we've got whistles here. It'll be Riverton possession.
Ball got stuck in his stick. That's a hold.
And my apologies. I thought they pointed to Riverton. It's Bingham instead.
It's fair call. But again, Johansson able to get that face-off win clean and push it forward. I still think you just got to keep going with him.
Here's Bailey. Straight away with Ellison. Work back with Ward. Now Baker. Able to keep that here for the Miners. Bailey. Couldn't possess it. And finding it again here is Stidham for Bingham. Stick check there. Stidham able to recapture it.
Good ride by Bingham. You know, a lot of teams, you know, don't necessarily ride that hard, but just a great ride, able to get the ball back.
So here's Carlson. Being defended by Giron. Carlson looking right in front. Not broken up, and here comes Riverton. Scholson pushing ahead with the Silverwolves. Have number if they hurry. Scholson right in front. Boy, was looking to pass, and that one just bounced right out, Tim.
Right off his helmet. Riverton in an interesting fast break shape. It's almost like a diamond.
Yeah.
Which you don't necessarily see quite often, but I felt like he held on to it a little too long there. Maybe should have got rid of it a tad quicker, but Riverton able to get it back.
Tafisi showing some patience. Here's Russell with it. That shot wide, backed up here by Riverton. Riverton with it. We're just letting the clock catch up with ours. We had a just little technical issue there. We're back. Tafisi working through traffic. Now to X. Sends it out, and boy, it looked like Russell was trying to tee up a shot there.
Great play by Tafisi. Drew the double team. The slide came early this time, but a nice swim move, and then Riverton able to work that ball around. Would have liked to see him come around that other side, but, you know, tough ride here.
Ground ball here. Gathered by Riverton. Russell had to get rid of that, being so close to the midline, and was successful, but Bingham with it back. Push here for the Miners. They've got numbers. Wilson plays over. Oh, the shot, top bar. Will Bailey with the goal, and Bingham taking the lead.
That's that step down shot that we saw them practicing in warm-ups. Just a great shot there by Bailey. You know, time and room, excellent placement. Hard shot for Tueller to stop.
And you're trying to ride hard right in the middle of the field, but you lose that. You got a 4-on-2 for Bingham. I love how quick they were to get it up and try to take advantage of that, and they capitalize.
Sometimes you got to cut your losses when the other team gets it around the 50 or 45-yard line and just get back into the hole, improve your chances to stop that fast break.
Back to the spot. Guess who's? Not the conventional way he's won him today, but
that's right.
Riverton possession nonetheless. Scholson trying to work here against Cosper. Scholson gets a shot. Oh, that almost looked like a bit of a change up there. In fact, Bingham right now is just like, I can't believe I missed that.
Textbook placement, though. That's a hard shot to stop, you know, for any goalie. Jones just unable to track it there, but so we see a goalie change.
Yeah, are you surprised by that? Southworth's going to come on here.
Goalies are a fickle bunch, right? They're more likely to get in their head than others, other positions. And so if you've got a goalie who maybe you know, maybe in his own head, then yeah, it's time to switch it up.
I'll tell you, Jones, he does not look too pleased on that sideline. Tell frustrated that he let that one past him.
And Dane, that's been the same shot that, you know, the last, 2 or 3 goals for Riverton. So it's been the exact same placement, exact same shot on the field. So, you know, yeah, maybe a goalie change is what's in store here.
Carter Tripp with it for Riverton. James Southworth, the junior goalie, now on for Bingham. Tafisi. That's South for you.
That's right.
So he's a big cat, and we got whistles here and a award being called on Riverton.
Yeah, they've really tweaked that rule lately. You know, if you lower your head at all as the offensive player, or you're lifting that shoulder at all into that defender, they're going to make that call.
Here come the Miners. Bailey. Working around here. Who was looking to the angle there with Baker. Good shot and a goal for the Miners. Nick Anderson able to net it again.
Similar to how Riverton's getting all their goals from that one area. Bingham really lighting up that side. Great shot, though. Seesaw battle, 19-17, here we come.
We talked about Nick Anderson. 17 goals coming into this one. I think he's got 4 today. I can think of 4. It might be more. A young man shooting .531 coming into the game, and that's probably right about that today.
Yeah, definitely.
And there's a win for Stidham. We've talked about Johansson, how good he's been. Stidham picking up the big face-off win against the sophomore. Man, how about that? Johansson just a sophomore. I missed that, Tim.
So did I. I mean, you pair him with Tuller, and
right, you got a core here.
It's exciting.
Yeah. This kept by Ward. Ellison had a little bit of a lane open up. Looking right in front through traffic. Able to be broken up. Bingham still with it. Carlson here is midway point of this second quarter. And one that just almost like it has eyes, able to beat Riverton, and Bingham pushing the lead to 2.
Wilcox, first goal of the season there, Dane, for Brendan Wilcox. Just a nice play there. Cutting down the middle, nice quick stick for Brenton. Excellent way to get your first goal of the season.
Yeah.
Looked like the Riverton defense was a little tired there. Maybe the shift was a little too long.
Well, and you go back to face-off wins, right?
That's right.
I mean, Bingham wins that face-off. They have a couple opportunities where they can break it up, get the clear, but they can't get it out. And
interesting to note here, Dane, Bingham bringing Jones back into the goal. Just needed a quick timeout there for him. Regain his composure. See if it worked.
that pass couldn't be kept. And then lost out. Be Silver Wolves with it. Nielsen, is this worked around? Pearson. Top of the zone here. Here comes Nielsen. Had it jarred loose. Over pursued by Luke Wilson.
Bingham just relentless here with their sticks.
And it will be Bingham possession after the push call. Here come the Miners. Luke Wilson. Shut down, and he'll pass that over with Anderson. 2-goal lead here. I like Bingham electing to be a little patient here.
Definitely, you know, it's their home field. They want to control that pace. And so a nice drawn-out possession here will probably pay dividends for him. Again, working on that Riverton defense, getting them even more tired.
Here's Anderson, as Bingham will bring on some help. Is Ellison coming on here? Anderson, you can see he was looking for a lane. Ellison looking to the middle, and that plucked out of the air, but got back, and Bailey able to score it. Oh, you talk about opportunities, Tim, that are left, and one for Riverton. They teed up for Bailey, and he finishes.
Yeah, just a nice heads-up play there. I think Tuller maybe caught napping a tad there. You know, I think he saves that 9 out of 10 times. But, yeah, Bingham really turning it on here, you know, as they should.
Well, you don't expect that to bounce out of your defender's stick, right? And Next thing you know, Bailey has it, and I love the quick, yeah, we're going to throw it right on net, and good things happen. 3-goal lead here for Bingham. Matches their largest of the game, led by 3 back in the first. Johansson on the face-off, and Bingham coming away with it. Playing this back here with Jones. Trying to work through the pressure. Wide, gathered here by Bailey. Good pressure by Johansson. Help coming up there by Law. Ellison still with it. Looking in front. Good defense there by the Silver Wolves. A flag coming in here. Was that high, Tim?
It could have been. It almost looked like a hold. So he kind of had his stick up there in his chin area, and then kind of took him down to the turf, WWE style.
We do have a player down here, and they're going to come out and have a look. Looks to be okay. Quickly up to his feet there. That was Carter Hone. As the officials here working on the call. Good to see he's okay.
Yeah.
Could be a big moment for Bingham. Leading here by 3 late in the third. And a man-up opportunity.
Going to get him with a legal body check.
Okay.
It's probably fair. It's an okay call. Thought it was that or a hold, you know. So really, you're talking about a 30-second versus a minute.
Man up for the Miners. Here's Ellison. Worked around Bailey. Extra pass to Anderson. Nick the shot off the pipe. Love the look for Bingham. Anderson just missed that, not by much. That pass to Bailey was deflected. Tueller couldn't get to it. That Riverton defense trying to get it back for the Silver Wolves here. And loose ball push here going to be called. It'll be Bingham possession.
A couple other opportunities there for Riverton to get that ball up off the turf. Again, I think they're just looking a little tired out there, Dane. Not able to control that. Big moment, though, here for Bingham, like you mentioned.
Yeah, still man up here for the Miners. Bailey, good find. That just wide, backed up here.
Nice little play there. They get him just on a wheel. Great shot there. You know, using the defender as a screen of sorts, but just a little bit off target.
Anderson. Big wind-up, Tueller able to make the save out of the air. Nice job there by the freshman. And we're back to even. Luke Wilson with it for the Miners. Looking in front, quick shot there by Carlson. Wide and backed up by Bingham. Bingham really putting the pressure on here, just like they did back in the first. Ellison was looking in front of the net. Another nice play by the long stick of that Riverton defense, this time by Hayward. We're going to get a flag here on this play.
Looks like a little bit of head-to-head contact there.
Penalties here starting to add up on Riverton, Tim.
Yeah, and that can be deflating. You know, the ball's been down at this end for the majority of the quarter, I'd say.
Yeah.
You know, and so the Riverton defense doing well. You know, they're only down by 3 still. So obviously, you know, not out of this game. But, you know, penalties can just be devastating for you.
It's Rangers who's going to serve the time here. And non-releasable.
Led with his helmet going in for that hit. They'll call that every time.
And do we actually have penalties on both sides?
It may be, yeah, maybe offsetting. Which, you know, we're as far away as anyone else here, and that looked like that's a fair call. That looked right. I'm okay with that.
So 5-on-5 here. Bailey couldn't capture that. This ball trickling into the corner. Tracked down by Carlson. Bailey back to Carlson. Good little two-man move. And the sophomore scoring it for Bingham. 13-9.
Great little give and go there by the Miners. No slide coming from the Riverton defense, and just takes his time on the crease, and that's hard for Tueller to stop. You know, you're basically asking them to do a lot in that situation. So great goal though by the Miners.
Riverton has responded, but it's been a couple minutes here where they haven't had much of a response. Got a minute 19 left in the third. Who can step up here for Riverton? A goal or two late here in the quarter would be big.
You know, we've seen Johansson do it a couple times where he'll win the face-off and take it down. And, you know, Dane, you do that 1-2 more times and momentum really starts going your way.
And how about the adjustment by Stidham? I mean, those were kind of the face-off plays he was giving up in the first half. And it feels like a couple times that ball's come out and Stidham's been able to retreat and kind of help win it back for the Miners. Made a nice adjustment.
Yeah, you know, and I think he's maybe conceded that he's not winning the clamp, which is fair.
I'll go track down the loose ball.
Exactly. So he just starts backing up as soon as the clamp's over and goes and gets it. So yeah, that's paid dividends here for Bingham. Great adjustment by Stidham and the coaching staff.
Bailey with us. We're inside of a minute to go. The penalties are done. So back to 6-on-6 here. And Bingham with a chance to make a statement. It was 7-7 at the half. It's been a 6-2 quarter for the Miners. They're looking for more. Here's Bailey. He's been great today. Bailey has been.
Yep, just a solid player. You know, that really the Bingham offense just has a bunch of good players. You know, they play well together. I've seen them a couple times this year. Just a fun team to watch.
Looking in front, Tueller trying to capture that, and does as the clock down to final seconds here in the frame. He'll heave it down and the quarter will expire. 13-9. Bingham putting a stamp here in the third. Will they have enough to hold off Riverton in the fourth? We'll find out next as the final frame coming up after this.
College wasn't built for me.
It didn't care if I had to work a double shift.
Or if my kid had a fever.
Deadline's a deadline.
I want to set the deadlines.
I want to take tests when I'm ready.
I want to take courses on my time.
And speed up when I know my stuff.
I want a university that cares about me.
Tests on your time, courses on your time, graduate on your time. WGU, the nonprofit university of you.
Ouch, gonna need some pills for that one.
Hey, prescription pain pills can be dangerous.
Whoa. Easy there. You're her parent, not a drill sergeant. More love, then they'll listen.
Know your script. Talk to your kids about prescriptions the right way.
Start of the fourth quarter. A 6-2 third for the Miners. They've got control of this game. Do they have enough to put it away? 12 minutes to go here. Dane Stewart, Tim Haslam of the Utah Lax report about how big this game is. And a Bingham team, we talked about that 13-11 loss against Mountain Ridge. Does that maybe help turn the tide for them? It certainly looks that way, as they've had nice responses here a couple times here. Is Riverton winning the face-off here to start the fourth? South Tafisi been strong today. Riverton, a goal or two would go a long way to helping them come back here on the road. Tafisi there for help. Instead, they'll work to the wing.
We didn't call Tafisi's name enough in the third quarter.
Yeah. Here is Sal. Right to the middle. Oh, good play. Couldn't tell if Jones got a piece of that or not. It's a good look by Scholson. Couldn't score it.
That's the thing is Tafisi commands that respect, right? So if he's dodging down that wing, you're going to have at least two players
that come over, yeah,
that are sliding to him, that are paying attention to him.
That one backed up here by Riverton again, trying to kind of beat Jones to the post there, and he was ready for it. First times he's really been tested since he came back in this ball game.
That's right. You know, and credit to Johansson winning that face-off, getting it to Tafisi on the wing, and just a good adjustment there.
On the angle, Jones stepping into a nice kick save there. Riverton still with it. Man, this is kind of like what Riverton did in the second quarter.
It's this end, Dane. You know, like they just whoever is on this end is playing well.
Little spin move there by Juan. Being hounded here defensively. Nice work by Bingham. Miners coming away with it. Pushing up the field. Here's Hone.
That's smart. That's smart. He had a wide open guy in the middle, but opted to just hold it. Really? I don't think they should kill the game now. Obviously, lots of time left, but no need to push that.
Bingham's been better when they've been patient. Right? Worked over now with Ekblad.
They have been better, you know. They're just working that Riverton defense. Riverton's looking tired down on that end of the field. You know, just having that patience has really paid dividends for the Miners.
Anderson coming up here with Whitney. Riker, and good stick work there by Nixon. Able to help that shot be off target.
If you're Bingham, though, you don't want to get necessarily complacent, right? You don't want to take the foot off the gas, so to speak. You want to be methodical in your offense, but not so methodical that you start making mistakes and giving the ball away.
It's a hard line, right?
Yeah, totally.
Here's Anderson.
That's why we play 16 games in the regular season, right? You figure those things out, and you know, the teams that can figure it out really separate themselves come playoffs.
Worked over now with Ekblad again. To Luke Wilson. Here's Anderson. Trying to work it wide, and Tuller making a big save on Anderson. Ball unable to be gathered initially, and Bingham's going to get it back. Ekblad there. Another missed opportunity.
Definitely, you know, Riverton's got to come away with that ball, but just a great heads-up play there by Ekblad, and, you know, just slowing it down. He could have easily pushed the crease, pushed transition, but no need.
Wilson wide to Anderson. That was high, backed up by the Miners. Bingham back to the sustained possession they had in the third.
And it's a tricky spot for Riverton to be in. Oh, wow.
Tricky spot to place that shot. Luke Wilson able to beat Tuller, and it is a 5-goal lead.
That is an absolute rocket from the outside. Great placement there. I was saying it's a tricky spot for Riverton to be in because the way that you come back is you go pressure on defense, but that also exposes you, and if you're tired and not willing to slide, then it's It's just going to get worse.
Right. Impressive second half here for the Miners. 7-2. Scoring advantage is they're 8 minutes away from a big win here at home. Talk about the loss to Mountain Ridge. They've defeated Copper Hills. 6-5 overtime win. Certainly a different tempo than today, but certainly a game that can help this Miner team get back on track.
Yeah, you know, and they've really started to, like you said, get back on track. They've really started to come sort of into their own. You know, I was at their game against Bountiful earlier in the season. Now, it was a downpour. It was raining pretty hard, but it was pretty ugly, to be honest with you, you know. And so they've really improved, really taken those practices seriously. You know, it'll be interesting to see really them or whatever team makes a push to the 6A playoffs. You know, there's a couple favorites in that, but
yeah.
Other than that, the field's wide open, right? It could be anyone.
You know, I was talking with Coach Everill before the game. He said, you know, we're missing some guys early in the year, and we're starting to get guys back. And so, you know, some of that is you just don't have all the puzzle pieces to start. And now that you get that, picture kind of starts to be a little bit more clear, and you see kind of how it gels and everything come together, and you look like a different team.
Yeah, totally. You know, it's interesting when the lacrosse season starts because it's kind of in this weird period with semesters and grades, right?
Yep.
And so a lot of teams are kind of finding out, you know, they get to their first game and they're like, oh, three of our guys can't play today, you know, and they've got to make up grades, and maybe they're out for the first game, 2 games, 3 games, but then they come back because they've figured it out. And so, yeah, it is. Those first couple of weeks are fascinating, you know, as we get into the spring break. A lot of teams on spring break right now, you know, it starts to kind of gel, like you said, and teams start to figure it out.
Carlson, boy, I don't know how he kept that as long as he did through all the traffic. Ground ball here. And the scrum, Riverton had it. Bingham gets it. Hale. The relentlessness, is that right?
Yep.
Of Bingham has been impressive here in this second half.
It has, you know. They want to impress these home fans, and they've got something to prove. You know, maybe a couple are still mad about some other sport results, and yeah.
That shot sailed, backed up. Midway through the fourth. Sounded like Riverton wanted the timeout but didn't have the possession.
That's right.
And now they've got a bit of a burst, but there it does come, the timeout taken by Riverton, as Coach Dooley wanting to figure out how to approach these last 5 minutes, try to come out with a win here on the road. Timeout. We'll take it with them. Be back after this. Riverton ball. And Tim, feels like big moment, right? I mean, Riverton, they haven't had much of a spark here in the second half. can they find something, a goal or two, get some momentum, some energy back, try to get back in this, but it's a big possession.
It is, and you talked about, who's going to provide that spark. Obviously I give the ball to Tafisi.
Well, there he is, and couldn't get the shot away, and it's gathered by Jones.
And maybe the game's out of reach for Riverton, but, how do you carry momentum into the next game? How do you carry momentum into the next week? Whoa.
Wow. And guess who that was? Tafisi.
If I'm Coach Dooley for Riverton, I'm playing two kids the entire game, Johansson and Tafisi. Like, if they leave the field, it's crazy.
Penalty flag coming here on this play, and I love the push there by Scholson. We had talked about Anderson and the good work Riverton, the defense had done on him in the second quarter, but we really have not talked about Scholson much in this second half either, Tim.
Yeah, he's been quiet. A lot of that has to do with the fact, though, that Bingham's just had the majority of the possession.
Yeah.
Right? And Riverton hasn't had a lot of good looks here in the second half. Part of that comes from the face-off, but part of it just comes from the defensive end. A couple lapses in judgment, maybe a little bit of tiredness, and just haven't been able to get it done on the defensive end. And now that they do have it, some good things may come here. And
now a man-up opportunity for Riverton. I mean, if there's a point, it's right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
5 goals, 5 minutes.
And again, it may be out of reach for Riverton, but, how do you make it respectable? Like I said at the break, maybe 14-11. That's a respectable score, right? Like, that's something to be proud of.
Work back Scholson. Wide, backed up. And call me crazy, I don't feel like it is out of reach. But if it's not, then you got to score now.
No,
right?
no. I mean, to be fair, it isn't out of reach. Like, we've definitely seen crazier things. But you got to have that spark. You got to have that fire. And I just haven't seen it out of Riverton for most of the game. There's been a couple stretches here and there, but
Scholson had too tough of an angle there. Rasmussen with it. Rasmussen had it jarred loose. Jones staying out of the crease there, now being hounded by Rasmussen as Bingham gets the stop, and they're back to even strength. Here's Dupay. Worked ahead with Clegg. He was an igniter back in the second for this Riverton offense, trying to take on some of these Bingham defenders, and big save put on by Jones.
Great individual effort, just weaves his way through 3 guys, but just hits Jones right in the shoulder pads.
And now we got a timeout taken by Bingham. How about the response by Jones? He came off. We talked about he was frustrated. He came off, was frustrated. He gave up a goal or 2 in that span. Since then, he's been locked in.
Absolutely, and credit to the Bingham coaching staff for knowing that about him, right? Maybe some coaches wouldn't make that move.
Yeah.
But impressive by Coach Everill and the crew that, hey, come over here, come sit at the end of the bench for a minute, get some water, maybe some Red Bull, and get back in there.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's been a nice response from Jones today. Timeout, and we'll step aside, be back, go grab a drink, some popcorn, and we'll have the conclusion after this.
College wasn't built for me.
I didn't care if I had to work a double shift.
Or if my kid had a fever.
Deadline's a deadline.
I want to set the deadlines.
I want to take tests when I'm ready.
I want to take courses on my time.
And speed up when I know my stuff.
I want a university that cares about me.
Tests on your time, courses on your time, graduate on your time. WGU, the nonprofit university of you.
Bingham with the ball. 14-9 the advantage. We've got some confusion here about personnel. Now we go.
Whitney just wanted to get on the field. Can you blame the guy?
Yeah, no, not at all. Anderson for that same angle spot. He's been so effective today. And over and back there, yeah. Help coming on here for Riverton with Pearson. Has it now. Back to Tafisi. Scholson. Pushed out. Gives it to Sal. Rasmussen. Looking in front, Tafisi taking on contact. Boy, I hit the pipe.
Hit something, but yeah, big shot by Tafisi.
Ground ball put back on frame as a penalty flag going to come on here. Boy, a hard check there made by Bingham.
High and late. That's gonna be locked in for a bit.
And this is Scholson, who's down for Riverton, leading goal scorer. Had a couple today, and they're going to come out and have a look at Adam Scholson. Timeout as they take a look at the senior. Welcome back. Scholson was able to walk off. Good to see. It's a 2-minute non-releasable here given to the Miners. Non-releasable, you can make some quick work here from Riverton, but you know, where's the energy, where's the movement, where's the play going to come from? That's been the question, and I thought that ball maybe went over, but it did not. We play through here.
That was a very delayed over and back.
Yeah,
it's pretty clear.
What was the delay on that?
I don't know. It's a good question.
So Bingham back with a possession here. 2:15 to go in regulation. Tafisi, spin move. Here comes Sal. Right down with Rasmussen. Clegg. 2 minutes to go. Nice deflection there by Carlson.
Good check. Good way to get his stick in the lane.
Rasmussen plays back over. Angle shot and a goal for Riverton. First in a long time, but it is Brock Josie able to score it. Pull back to within 4.
I don't love the crossfield pass over a couple defenders, but in this case it worked out. Got to get your goals however you can get them.
Well, right. You know, how can you get a look, right? Because the second half, you haven't had very many, and if that's what you got to do. Now, look, Johansson back to the spot. He dominated from here in the first half. Big moment here for Riverton.
Yeah, Riverton still man up as well, so they've got that extra guy in the wing.
And they will be for about the next minute. If you can get a goal or two while you're still man up, that would go a long way to make this maybe interesting, but you don't have a lot of time here to exhaust. Clegg looking for a spot. Oh, and Clegg with the goal. There it is, back-to-back for Riverton.
That's his MO. We've seen it a couple times, Dane. He's not afraid to take on a couple defenders and finds that top shelf. Great shot. Riverton still man up.
This is where the non-releasable kills you, right?
Totally.
Because you just keep playing 6-on-5 here.
Yeah, absolutely. Looks like a timeout by Bingham.
And I think this is probably good use, right?
Absolutely. Try to kill that momentum for sure.
And try to get your defense structured. You only got to kill off about 50 seconds here. But with how quickly we've seen Riverton attack, they could net 2 or 3 if your defense isn't locked in here.
Yeah, and that's exactly how Bingham scored so many in the third, right? Riverton's defense just wasn't locked in.
Right.
And so, that's probably the message. Hey, guys, this game isn't over. We need to finish this thing out. This is a big region game, a big rivalry, and we need to make this thing count.
We talked about next up for Riverton. They'll take on Mountain Ridge. Next up for Bingham, go take on the Jags of West Jordan. And, we talked about this Bingham team getting things righted, coming off a big win over West. They lost to Mountain Ridge. They've defeated Harriman, defeated Copper Hills. So, they've gone up against a majority of this region. West Jordan going to be the last region game for them. And, look, I think with kind of the way this has come together, what we've seen tonight, you got to feel pretty good about the position of this Bingham team.
Yeah, definitely. And then, you start to think, okay, we've done really well in our region. How do we then, knock off Mountain Ridge?
Right.
How can we make up those 2 goals? It was just a 2-goal game.
Yeah.
How can we get that back?
And if you do, you're a co-region champ potentially.
Yeah, totally. Which is a great feat, because you looked at Mountain Ridge coming into this season, and they're ranked in the coaches poll. They're high in the RPI.
Yep.
Like, that would be a great achievement for the Miners.
Back to the spot, Johansson with a win. Here come the Silver Wolves. Johansson and plucked out of the air by Jones. Big play made by the senior keep.
Great face-off win. You know me, Dane. I like to see that on the ground, or maybe giving up. He's clearly got numbers. But yeah, great save by Jones.
That's a play Johansson made a couple times in the first half.
Yep.
That might be your ball game.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Bingham has to keep it in, so they still are a man down. So in theory, you should see a double team, but
even that, you score there. You got 1:15 left, and your man up as penalty flags coming on here, but Bingham still with the possession. So sent near side here for Bailey, who couldn't corral it. We'll get the stoppage here with 22 seconds left, and the penalty here to be enforced. Bingham going to improve to 4-4.
Yeah, just a silly penalty, completely unnecessary. It doesn't really have an effect on the game, but kind of a weird way to end the game.
Yeah. So Bingham here will put it in play. They don't really have to do much with it. Man up are the Miners. 3-goal lead. Really just let the final 15 drain off here. Bingham got off to a 4-1 lead. They trailed twice, but put the clamps down in the third. And Tuller with a nice save there as the clock winding down and the game complete. A 7-2 run put on by Bingham helps the Miners defeat Riverton 14-11. Tim, your final thoughts on a player of the game?
We thought, I was hoping for a shootout. That didn't quite pan out, but that's okay. But Bingham, just a nice effort there in the first and third quarters. That third quarter really the difference for them. They were able to just really put the screws in. I'd probably go with number 5, Nick Anderson, as the player of the game. Congratulations to Nick Anderson and Bingham back on track. 14-11, they defeat Riverton, stay within a game of Mountain Ridge. For Tim Haslam, Bill Francis, my name is Dane Stewart. Thank you for joining us, and we can't wait to see you next week right here on Game Night Live Rewind's Game of the Week.